Welcome to the Kale Leadership Secrets Podcast. Today, let's talk about who knows you. Welcome back to the Kale Leadership Secrets Podcast. My name is Kale Hauser. I appreciate you joining me today, tonight, this morning, this afternoon, this weekend, whatever it is, and whenever it is that you happen to be listening to this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hey, I wanted to talk about this common concept, and there's a phrase that we hear often: is it's not it's not what you know, it's who you know, which is great, and it's absolutely critical to understanding that who you know is pretty important. However, I want to give you an alternative to this and a different aspect of how to think about this. As you're going through, if you're a business person, if you're in business, and especially if you're your own business, you own your own business, how do you get out of obscurity? How do you get people to actually know who you are? And I would argue, while it is important of who you know, I would say it's even more important of who knows you. Who knows you? How can you get out of obscurity if nobody knows who you are? How, as Kale Hauser Leadership, can I ever expect anyone to hire us, anyone to, invite me to be a speaker, anyone to buy future books if nobody knows who you are? It's not who you know, it's who knows you. Would it be better to walk into a room, say you are at a networking event, or maybe you're at your industry big wide expo, that's your annual meeting you hold every year for your industry or your company. Maybe you've got a lot of branches for your company. Would it be better for you to walk in and you know everybody there? Or would you rather walk in and everybody knows you? What do you think would be better? What would be more beneficial to your business? What would be more beneficial to your brand? I 100% would rather have everyone know me. Think of any conference that you've been to, especially if you've been to any that have to do with like personal development or things of that nature. The speakers that they bring onto the stage, they don't know who you are. Your Ed Milet's, your Marcus Lemonis's, think of any big, kind of motivational type of speakers. They don't know who everyone is. It's not who they know. It's who knows them. They are the ones on the billboard, and I see that name and go, I know that guy. I want to go see them. Kevin Hart, if you go see one of his comedy shows, he doesn't know who you are, but you know him, and that's why you're there. It's the same thing in your business. When somebody needs a new air conditioner, do they go, oh, I know Johnny. Johnny's HVAC down on First Street. That's who I'm going with. I met him at the networking event. He spoke at our last networking event for our Chamber of Commerce, and now I know him. Who knows you? Because this is all ultimately gets back to your branding, gets back to your reputation, gets back to your image of your company in your community, which ultimately leads back to, and I know a lot of you struggle with this, the whole hiring part and retaining people in your business. It needs to start way before you put that job posting on Indeed or in your local newspaper or whichever you're using to attract people on your website, on your careers page. This goes back to who knows you? Are you the one with the most amazing reputation? And every HVAC technicians, I know I use HVAC a lot as an example, but every technician, every plumber, every baker, or pick your poison, knows who you are in your community. And they're like, I want to go work for that company. Grocery store, I want to go work for that grocery store because they have the best reputation. Everybody knows them. And everybody knows your name, right? That's the old school, was it Cheers? That's what makes people feel good. And that's what makes people understand and can now choose you as their service provider, as their product provider. So I would highly encourage you, if you haven't thought about this, if you're only concerned about who do I know? Who do I know? Now, I'm not saying you need to ignore connections. But how much easier are those connections to make when they already know who you are? When you're the one walking in the room and they go, he's here, she's here, she came. Awesome. I want to buy tickets to that event. I want to buy tickets to go see them. I've got to call that person and connect with them. Do you see how much more powerful that is versus you constantly trying to go out and make those individual connections of who you know? It's that turning the tables of outward activity to inward activity. You've got people coming to you. And you do that by getting out of obscurity. Now, there's all kinds of ways to get out of obscurity. It really depends on your situation, your business, the type of industry that you're in. But 100% you need to start working on this. Grant Cardone is famous for saying one of his biggest mistakes he made early on in his business, and he's been successful for a long time, but before he really skyrocketed from 5 million a year to 150 million a year, he says the biggest mistake he made was not reinvesting all his money into branding and getting known. Not who he could know, but everyone else would know who he was when he walked in the door. And I would argue he's doing very well with that so far. But even a Grant Cardone is a drop in the bucket. But that doesn't have to be you. In your community, you can be that go-to. You can be the forefront of everyone's mind. Now, how are you going to do that? If you need help with that, please let us know. That's what we're here for. Kale, how's your leadership? We help you build amazing teams to help get you out of obscurity, to help you attract the right people to your teams in the future, to help everyone know you when you walk in that room, because that's the goal. Can you see that? Am I off my rocker? Let me know. If you totally disagree with me, please leave a comment. Let me know in the comments wherever you're watching or listening to this, or you can shoot me an email, kale@kalehauserleadership. I'd love to hear from you. If you have not had a chance yet, kalehauserleadership.com/mistakes, 10 biggest mistakes every new leader makes and how to avoid them. I would hope it helps you out, especially if you found yourself promoted into a leadership position and you're like, holy smokes, this is an entirely different skill set type of thing, and I am ill-prepared right now. I've had those moments, and I would argue most everyone that's in a leadership position in some form or fashion has had that feeling. So let us help you work through that. We'd love to talk to you. Have a fantastic afternoon, no matter where you're at in the world. Bye.